Hi everyone. It's time to talk about the full moon, which is Sunday, February 1st. And I'm filming this Saturday evening right before sunset. And the sun is just about to set. And I can see the moon here in the east. It came up about 45 minutes ago. And it's big and beautiful, but not quite full. So it came up about 45 minutes before sunset, which is how it is every night before the full moon. And tomorrow night, the day of the full moon, it'll come up right around exactly at sunset, because it will rise about 50 minutes later every day. So right now, I'm sitting in between the sunset over here and the moonrise over here. Like I'm right in the middle of them. And I'm making this video from that energy. We know the moon has phases and that it changes every month, and we're used to seeing the moon change and we don't really question it. It's kind of cool, but we usually don't think about it very much. But if we're trying to get a deeper intimacy with the moon or track the energy of the moon in our lives and to allow the moon to support us in the cycle of creativity and the cycle of growth and healing and self-awareness, then it gets kind of exciting to understand a little bit more deeply how this happens, right? So as I mentioned, I'm sitting right now, well, we're all sitting on the earth right now, right in between the sun and the moon. I said earlier, the moon's right here, I can see it, and the sun's right here, I can see it just went down. And that is what creates the visual from Earth of the full moon. And the phases of the moon are caused by the moon's rotation around the earth. So the moon changes its phases from our point of view because it's rotating around the earth, and as it does, our perspective of it in relationship to the sun changes. Let's pretend my head is the earth. Okay? My head is the earth, and this right here will be the sun. And this right here will be the moon. This is not to scale, obviously, and it's not to correct distance, but it'll give you a sense. So right now, this is exactly how the sun, earth, and moon are aligned up. They're right in line with each other. And that's why lunar eclipses happen during a full moon, because once in a while, the earth is exactly lined up. So during a regular full moon, it's not an exact alignment. When it is an exact alignment, and the earth is in exact alignment with the sun and the moon, that's a lunar eclipse, because the earth is blocking the light of the sun from hitting the moon. So this full moon is not an eclipse, but the next one will be. Stay tuned for that. This moon cycle started with the new moon on January 18th. We've gone through half of this moon cycle now at the full moon on Sunday. And this moon cycle for me, it's been tough, especially the first quarter. I was out walking last night under the moon, and it does feel like it's lightening up. Like the moon is becoming more illuminated, and that means we're coming sort of out of the darkness, out of the winter. We came into the spring, and now we're coming into the feeling of summer in the moon cycle. And I do feel that lightening, and also I noticed that it doesn't really matter what phase the moon is in. Whenever I get still at night and just let myself gaze up at the moon for a little while, I can't help but let my heart open. The moon is associated with the sign of Cancer, which is a water sign, and that is like mother, deep emotions, water, deep emotions, intimacy, like home, deep feelings. And so when I'm looking up at the moon, I can feel in me that connection. It's like intimacy, right? That's also Cancer's, like intimate connections. When I look up at the moon, sometimes it's like she's just there for me. That connection of a deep intimate, or the mother energy. It also feels very feminine to me, right? She has cycles, just like people who menstruate have cycles, and they're pretty much similar to the same lengths, very close to the same lengths. And they match the same seasonal process. And this full moon in particular has a lot of heart energy because it's in the sign of Leo. So the sun is in Aquarius, And the opposite sign from the zodiac is Leo. So the sun and the moon are right now in opposite signs because they're opposite each other because it's the full moon. And the sign of Leo has a lot of heart energy, like the lion-hearted, the courageous heart, the courage to love. And I could feel that last night as I was feeling into the moon. I think the moon also, for me, offers this intimacy with self. Sometimes I think about the fact that our planet only has one moon, but some planets have multiple moons. The fact that we only have one moon, it creates a different psycho-spiritual reality for us on Earth, right? There's just one moon, this singular moon, and she's there, and it's like this intimate one-on-one connection. And there can be a lot of affinity, a lot of support for self-connection with the moon. Self-connection on your deeper, inner, more yin aspects of yourself, because she tends to be felt as a feminine energy. The moon is like an ally, like an archetypal ally in my life. In a culture where we're following a calendar that's really focused on consistency, you take Saturday and Sunday off, and then you work Monday through Friday, and then you take Saturday and Sunday off, then you work Monday through Friday, and then you take Saturday and Sunday off, and then you work, and it's this very consistent schedule that we are expected to be on, especially if we work in large groups of people, like in a corporation or a company. And that calendar doesn't consider the seasons of the year, right? It's like it doesn't matter that it's deep winter and we're really tired and it's freezing out. You still have to take Saturday and Sunday off, work Monday through Friday, take Saturday and Sunday off, right? There's no deeper rest in the winter unless you have vacation or something, but it's not part of the cultural cycle. Likewise, for a person who has a menstrual cycle, there's no consideration for where you are in your menstrual cycle, and the luteal and the bleed phase of the menstrual cycle are deep fall and winter, and it's calling you inward. Energy is less plentiful, and there's more call to be still, and you're still expected to work Monday through Friday, take Saturday and Sunday off, work Monday through Friday. So like the natural cycles of our body, the natural cycles of the earth are not supported, are not accounted for by the Gregorian calendar, but the moon cannot be denied. The moon is always there in the sky showing us growing bigger and bigger, getting smaller and smaller, going around the cycle, constant cycle. And she has a consistency about her in that she's always cycling, but even her cycles aren't the same. Like it's an average of 29 and a half days, but it's not exact. Like her first quarter is not always 7 days. Sometimes it's 8 days. Sometimes the second quarter is 8 days or 7 days. There's this variation. So there's this sort of ally in the sky for coming back to cyclical awareness. So I think the moon can help give us a support and a check, like a reality check-in to the fact that nature is cyclical. Our bodies are cyclical. And if we're maybe at times having a little trouble or not, it's not as easy to stay in the consistency of Saturday and Sunday, Monday through Friday, that we can give ourselves a little compassion and a little break, knowing that we are being asked to sort of override our cyclical nature in some ways to be able to meet the demands of our calendar culture. And so right now we're in the full moon, which is like the top of the inhale in the breath cycle. It's like the pause at the top of the inhale, completely full. And we are in the energy in the moon cycle of summertime. Now, of course, in the annual cycle, the solar cycle, we are still in winter. And we're coming toward the end of deep winter. I'd say we're still in deep winter, but we are at the end of deep winter, and we're coming into midwinter and getting closer to spring. So I think we're still in heavy yin energy in the solar cycle. And now we have this summertime yang energy for the next few days in the moon cycle to kind of lighten things up a little bit, to give us a little bit of a boost. So just check in and see, how is that happening for you? How has it been for you in the last few days as the full moon has been approaching? Have you been feeling a little bit more sort of relief or like energy. Sometimes it can also be more activating, right? Because the full moon can bring more things to the surface, right? It's fully illuminating what's there. Nothing's hidden. The whole moon is visible. So the whole of us is more visible. And noticing for the next few days as we ride this full moon energy, how are you feeling? How is that layering on top of your winter solar cycle experience? Is the wintertime weather, for example, so intense that full moon energy isn't really making a dent? Or can you feel a little bit both at the same time? And now this is the last full moon before the Chinese New Year. In 2 weeks at the new moon on February 17th, we will have Chinese New Year or Asian New Year. It's not just the Chinese who celebrate this. A lot of Asian cultures and other cultures celebrate the new year on the second new moon after the winter solstice. And I'm going to do a separate video to talk about Chinese New Year and how we're coming to the end of the yin cycle of the year and the moons related to that. Happy full moon, everyone. So on normal full moons, the Earth is not exactly lined up between the sun and the moon to block the light of the moon on the sun. Fuck.